Hello Aquarius, this is Leanne with Mystic Inspirations, and I'm bringing you a mid-year mini tarot forecast to see how the first half of 2017 went and how the latter half will go. So let's get started. I've already shuffled and cut the deck. We have what did you want to happen first part of the year? What did you not want to have happen? What did happen? Then we have for the second half of the year, what would you like to have happen? What do you not want to happen? And what will likely happen? And then we also have our advice card, which is coming from the underside of the cut. Now, for 6 months of the year, what you wanted to have happen, we have Five of Cups. Five of Cups is speaking about not only regrets and loss, but it's also very clear that it's a breaking out of the norm. So fives always mean change. So this is a change in maybe your passion, possibly a change in your creations, possibly a change in what fulfills you. Also, what you were wanting to happen the first 6 months of the year was that not all hope was lost. Because you see, although there is regret with the spilled cups, there is still two cups standing in the background. So maybe that's what you wanted this first half of the year, was to just be reminded that although you've undergone some loss and some emotional upheavals and maybe even some regrets, that there is not all hope has been lost. Now, what you did not want to have happen, we have the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords speaks to moving on to calmer territories. It speaks about taking all of the knowledge and wisdom that you've gained through your life experiences and through others and moving to a place where you can put them to better use, to some place that is more balance. This is also speaking about a more a nicer, if lack of a better word, nicer way to speak to yourself. This is better thinking. This is also good luck. This is realizing how lucky you are. This is sort of a reminder that you could have it a lot worse, right? This is that brain, this is pulling up those swords going, you know what? I know better. I could have it a lot worse, right? Now you do also have to notice that what you don't want to have happen, maybe you don't want to move on. Maybe you don't want to take the realization that things are the way they are for others and they are a certain way for you. But you see these swords of knowledge, they are poking a hole in the bottom of that boat. So honey, you better swim. If this boat sinks, if all of your thoughts and knowledge and all that, you don't want to sink, right? You don't want to take everything that you know and have it be the end of you. So what actually did happen the first 6 months? We have the Nine of Wands. This is the Wounded Warrior card. This is that final push before getting to the end. This is really that exhausted person that is about to give birth. They've been in labor for however long, 8 hours, right? And they're on their last hour. Oops. And they're like, I don't want to do this anymore. Well, there's no going back, right? You have to give one final push. So that's what you've had to do, Aquarius. You've had to sort of pull it together and give it one final push. You have to push through. You have laid all these rods of intention and rods of protection and rods of passion and action. You have one more push to give. So give it, okay? This is what's happening. The universe is saying, you're not done yet. You haven't gotten to your end game. So keep going. You're only at a 9, right? We need to be at 10. Now for the following 6 months, What you would like to have happen, we have Ace of Pentacles. This is, the beginning of all that is physical. So this is the beginning of the possibility of financial growth. This is the beginning of the possibility of health and well-being. This holds the seed to everything tangible. And that's what you really want. You want that seed to be dropped out of the sky for you. What you don't want, you don't want 10 of Wands. Okay? Now, 10 of Wands is a card of burden. A lot of times it's sort of reminding you to decide whose burdens are these, and are you really supposed to carry them all? Are they really all yours? Do you really want to take them where you're going? Now, this is a 10, so this person is actually very close to the destination, but they've pulled up stakes and moved on. Okay, so in one aspect, you don't really want to have to pull up stakes and move on, right? You're kind of good where you're at. However, you have to decide, are you carrying too many stakes? Are they yours to carry? Are you tired of carrying them? Are they doing you any good? Will you put any of them to use when you get to your destination? So something to think about, Aquarius, when you find yourself overwhelmed and burdened spiritually and physically, you need to decide, whose burdens are you carrying, and are they worth it in the long haul? Now, what will likely happen, we have the World. Okay, this is the end of a cycle and the beginning of another cycle. This is a door that closes that cannot be reopened. And I like to sort of say it's like graduating from high school, or hitting puberty. Okay, you're never going to graduate from high school again. You're never going to go through puberty again. Okay, that door is closed, and now you're on to something new. It's not necessarily bad that doors have closed. It's just something has come full circle. So basically the last 6 months of this year, you're going to find that a life cycle has ended, and that really just means a new one is beginning. Puberty, you go on to from that to perimenopause to menopause, right? So for females anyway. You also go from one stage in your life, you go from single to married to like, there are certain stages you will never go back to. You will never be a virgin again, right? When that door shuts, it's shut. So last 6 months, you have some life changes happening, and you won't have to repeat them. That's the good part. So here's our bridge slash advice. So going from the 9 of Wands, where you really had to push through, physically, mentally, spiritually, the first 6 months really tested your will. Okay, this is your will, your action, your spirit. This has definitely been tested. But in order to go from this testing phase to the end of whatever cycle needs to come to an end, we have the 7 of Cups. Let me move this closer. Now, the 7 of Cups, as advice, is telling us, let's take a step back. Let's look at the things, let's name the things in each of these cups that we find fulfilling right now. And perhaps it has something to do with these extra burdens that we're carrying along, that are bending us over. Name those pleasures, those comforts, those promises, and see which ones are actually fulfilling to you. It's like, I don't know, something simple like, a certain song, man, it used to really just be my jam, and then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, not so much. you know, take it or leave it. But, you know, before it was like, ooh, every time I heard it, I had to, you know, sit in the parking lot until it was over. And now it's like, meh, whatever, turn the station, right? So decide. You can always take a step back and look at the things that used to fulfill you and decide that they don't anymore. It's okay to do that. In fact, this is your advice to do that so that the cycles that need to end in your life can end and can come full circle so that you aren't left wishing and wondering, and so that you aren't left dragging along burdens that don't belong to you. Okay? There is no place to put all of those stakes where you're going. So it's best to decipher which ones you're going to take. All right, Aquarius, I hope this gives you a little bit of insight into what's going to happen for the next 6 months. I will be posting monthlies. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, comment, subscribe. I always appreciate your support, and I will talk to you soon.